The sixth and final part of Australian SAS selection. Let's go.
The long physical days without food are exhausting, but it's the nights that bring the real mental anguish.
You know, it's the nights when you want to sleep, right? So your body's naturally saying, time to go to bed, but yet they're not sleeping. They're maybe slowing down. So it gets even worse when you're slowing down because, like I said before, I think it swells up.
After 3 days of no food or sleep, these men have arrived at the main guerrilla camp. They sit before the Supreme Commander, Mumu.
Soldiers of Australia, thank you very much for coming to my country and help me fight my war here in Bindunia. I hope that what I have seen so far is not a indication of the sort of soldiers you are. You are moving very slowly, you are disorganized.
After days without any form of nourishment, the offer of a ceremonial drink is a welcome one.
Thank you. This is our deity, the god we pray to. You did very good.
The local brew is made from vinegar mixed with fish oil and food dye.
Have you finished? No. Please. It shows an inner strength.
Figure nothing's been in their gut for a long time. You stick some vinegar, fish oil, and food dye in there. If you were going to have diarrhea, this may do it. Have any of you guys ever heard or tried this? Put that in the comments. It sounds disgusting.
This inner strength, I'd like to keep it in her. If you would please stand, because this is a liberation song. Everybody must stand. It is not a sitting, except for my wives. If you will follow after me, I will sing first line and you will repeat, yes?
In my dreams we break the chains that hold this place together.
In my dreams we break the chains that hold this place together.
In my dreams the consequences would be so much better.
In my dreams the consequences would be so much better.
We'll fight and kill the enemy and drive him from our land.
Commander Mumu now asks the Australians to build a chicken pen with the promise of an irresistible reward.
Apparently, this chicken's come tonight and we can eat them if we get the chicken chip.
They must also fill sandbags to build a bigger foundation for the deity.
What is it?
These kind of skits are good when you're out there and they want you to do something, pretend. Seems really dumb, but it's important because it keeps you moving, number one. They know you're not going to go fast. They got to keep you doing something, right? So fill some sandbags, make a chicken pen. It's keeping them going because they can't really stress them much more because they're physically exhausted. They're not going for a 40-mile ruck march at this point.
What do you do with that?
I'm going to dig with it.
You're going to dig? You don't look like you're digging to me. Oh, you pull it away from me? You're being rude to me.
I'm not touching the woman.
The presence of Mumu's wives is an escalating problem for the candidates.
This is not accepted in my country. I am the commander of the camp. You do not talk to my wife.
As their maddening fatigue grows, the cycle of chores continues. The chicken pen is never built well enough.
How many star pickets do I give you?
3.
What does that tell you?
Triangle.
These chickens are from Bermuda. It is triangle chicken pen.
Okay, we can do that move. We have to. We need more time though.
And
See what they're doing, right? They're giving them some mental exercises here. He says, make this chicken pen, and they make it, and they say, no, it's a triangle pen. And again, it's over and over, and you just don't know when the idiocy is going to stop. And they probably don't know. They just keep looking at the candidates saying, how far can we take them, but not push them into crazy?
sandbags are never filled correctly.
Did you know you weren't allowed to dig a hole?
I thought you said no big holes.
You have left holes here for people to trip in. Put the dirt back in the holes.
Most guys are just pretty tired and mentally over it. Just playing these games is starting to wear thin on a few people's patience. We found out yesterday that quite a lot of guys have withdrawn at own request. Statistically it's gonna happen, so
Let's go, boo!
you just pray that, you know, your body holds out till the end.
Fire!
Excuse us.
It's like The Walking Dead. He just says, excuse us, and he's just so spent. And you know something else is coming. It'll be a chicken pen. It'll be digging a hole, fill a sandbag, fill a hole in. But they got to keep them moving because they're going to go X amount of days. They can't really push them that much further. Otherwise, it's going to get even more dangerous because they're not going to know what they're doing.
Throughout this exercise, the men must prove they can remain respectful of other cultures while in difficult and dangerous situations.
You have been with my wife.
No, definitely not. No way. Mumu, no, definitely not me. Look, I swear to God.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
No, wait, shoot him. Look,
What's the answer there? Do you fight back? Do you go along? What do they want you to do? You don't know, and I don't know what they want here. Obviously, they're not going to shoot him for real, but him not fighting back, is that a grounds to kick the guy out? They don't have an answer for you. They want to see what you do and what you should have done based on all the facts and circumstances here.
You have been with my wife! Were you with my wife?
No, I just didn't hear the call. Remember?
Shoot him. Who has got...
Wait.
Shoot.
I admit it. Yeah, I admit it.
He admits it! Commander? The shoe is on the other foot now. He admits it.
You'll ultimately have to kill 10 Australian soldiers. What's that going to do for your cause? The assistance we can offer you.
The dramatic scenarios continue through the night, and the promised chickens never arrive.
Yeah. In my dreams, the consequences would be so much better. Fight to kill the enemy and drive him from our land.
In the end, we are so proud of this great ball of sand. The road, there we go.
Now, I've been pretty tired before and been up late doing similar type of stuff. Not like this exactly, but I've never been that tired. Those guys look totally spent, and like their mind, their IQ went from 120 to about 40, because these guys are just having a hard time because they're so exhausted physically. They're just operating on fumes.
Because I'm retarded.
This is a bullshit tired. I think I've got some kidneys, I've had some tongue, some brains, some stomach lining. Not the first choice on the menu, but very good nonetheless.
The food has given their bodies a desperately needed boost, but its effect on their minds is like a tranquilizer.
Try and make a swing over the back of the car.
So you figure you haven't eaten for days. As soon as it hits your stomach, your body wants to start producing glucose, right? Break it down, get it in your bloodstream. Well, all of a sudden it hits, the blood sugar is going to dump because your body's all out of whack. It doesn't know what to do. These guys are probably like after eating a big meal at Thanksgiving, they're just ready to take a nap.
We have the correct fuel, Commander?
300 litres, sir.
Why are we standing here?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Confusion reigns on the next body-breaking task, moving 300 litres of fuel 10 kilometres.
Hey, if everybody except one person is carrying 2 jerrys, we've got too many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have you got one in your pack? 11, 12, 13, 14.
The first 4 guys up front, go there now. Take yourself 2 jerry each. So you got, so you got 3 jerrys, 1 in your pack.
And we rotate forward, that way guys are resting their arms. They just move forward, drop the jerry, move to the back or move to flank security.
Alright, get the extra jerry up the front, that man carries it for fucking 20 metres, puts it down, next person picks it up on the way through, right, next person, then we break.
That's the first plan I've heard all morning.
These plans get more complex because no one makes a decision. They're tired, and all of a sudden they're thinking about 10 kilometers with X amount of gas to get somewhere. 10 kilometers will feel insurmountable when you're that tired.
By late afternoon,
Yeah, I'm sweet.
Number 37 loses consciousness and collapses head first.
Roll over onto your side. Roll over to your side.
Hold there, hold there.
You just blacked out, mate.
You blacked out, mate.
Okay, sit back up so it's fucking comfortable for you. Okay, take your webbing off, mate. Take your webbing off.
Okay.
Wow, he looks terrible. I think he's done. I don't know if it's just lack of food, water, or just mentally he turned into a marshmallow, but he looks terrible.
You alright? Yeah?
Alright.
What happened?
You just fainted, mate.
Alright.
Where's your med kit?
Alright, let's go. Let's keep going. Get some ORS into you first, mate. Otherwise you go down again.
You good, mate?
We gotta get going.
Just calm down, relax.
The directing staff are leaving no stone unturned in assessing the candidates. Every last bit of information will be used by the regiment in the final days of selection. For the remaining handful of men, the last 2 days of the SAS selection course merge into a continuous series of unachievable tasks. Their bodies are pounded, while their minds are bombarded with strange and confusing scenarios.
One enemy!
At all times, their starved, sleep-deprived behaviour is being closely observed and analysed. The regiment is determined to weed out any last undetected weak links.
Yeah, I think at this point the weak links have been weeded out. Maybe people whose bodies just can't take it anymore. You know, they've got an old injury that they've been hiding, or they're just not made for this. You know, their mind may switch off and they're done.
By the final day, the candidates are living in their own private hell.
Everyone's just really in the hurt locker at the moment. The boys are just walking ghosts. They're just totally fatigued, very, very hungry, and just got nothing left in the bank, really. It's just
a red hot poker in the side of my back. So I just off the spine, like on the right hand side. It's not too bad if I just stand still or don't put too much strain on it. But as soon as I try and pick anything up on the right side, it's fucking pretty debilitating.
With the ambulance lurking, 24 is being tempted to get medical help. But consenting to an examination risks being pulled from the course within grasp of the finishing line.
Yeah, just think if you got pulled, even if you got a second chance, you may have to go back to the beginning of this phase. God, I think it'd give you like some shot of adrenaline or some Ritalin or something. What do you guys think about that? In your dream, right, we're sitting here, we're all trying out for this. Do you think you'd just keep going, or do you think if you had a physical problem, you'd let the corpsman see you? I don't know that I would, because you may be hurt and they may yank you, and you get the chance to start over from some point, but it's not at this point.
For now, with the help of the team, he can continue on.
When you walk how many Ks with a bunch of blokes and you can't help out, at least it's very limited what you can do, and you feel pretty bad.
We will break an individual down to see his true character. We'll see his strengths and we'll see his weaknesses. We'll see his cognitive ability in situations where he's had very little sleep, situations where he hasn't eaten for a long time, or he has been at the absolute limits of human endurance to come up with a solution to achieve the mission.
Finally, 24 succumbs to the pain and asks to be taken to the medic. He knows that at this late stage, his chances of success are now in serious jeopardy. It is now the last night of the selection process, and as 24 is driven towards almost certain failure, those left face one last sleepless night.
My Lord, these guys are going,
For 28,
going.
it's time to reflect on how he has managed to survive.
I look at this a bit differently, maybe. I don't consider it to be a course. You know, this is, I'm here to do a job, you know, and you only get to go home when the job's done.
Making it to the end of this 21-day ordeal does not guarantee selection. The regiment reserves the right to take only those who truly fit the profile.
Look, there are going to be soldiers that complete this course and won't be selected. At the end of the day, they're very good soldiers. I mean, they have passed this selection course, but they just have a little trait that may not be suitable for this unit. And I know they're going to be bitterly disappointed.
That would be brutal. So you make it through, you figuring, hey, I'm good to go. They'd have dumped me before, and they say, we don't like you enough, buddy. Thanks for coming.
I can tell you that now because I've seen it before.
You want to achieve success at the end of the day. And the hardest thing is not knowing if you've done enough.
The senior directing staff now meet for the final time. Tonight they will re-examine each remaining candidate, and by morning the axe will fall again.
Wow.
And for those who are chosen, it is just the beginning.
At the end of the selection course, I'll probably say, yes, this is the hardest thing that I've ever done. And I can tell you right now that from my own personal experience, the hardest thing that I did was the first activity after selection. In order to get the Sandy Beret with the winged dagger badge affixed with the motto, "Who Dares Wins," they'll undergo 18 months of intense training, both mentally and physically. They'll be tested every day. They'll be assessed every day. They're basically on a daily renewable contract.
Those left standing tonight may or may not gain selection. Each know they have now done all they can.
Personal pride pretty much kept me going, and I've finished the course. I was one of the few to finish the course, and if I get selected, that'll be even better. But I'll be able to look back on this phase of my life and say, well, at least I had a go, and I was there till the end.
6 have been chosen to commence training. Their identities can never be revealed. Wow. Their lives will never be.
New to the channel, thanks for stopping by. For my current subscribers, as you know, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching.